Back here on the Cover 3 podcast. And like we mentioned, Clemson had a 17-point lead. It was going to be real simple, right? Oh, man, because as Danny told us all week long, the result matters, according to Danny Kanell. Like, what does it look like? Tell me what the score is. Tell me what the game looked like. And you know what? If Clemson had just won that game by 17, this would be easy, right? SMU's out. But then Kevin Jennings and SMU came charging back into this game. They tie it, and then Clemson wins with a walk-off 55-yard field goal. So, were you impressed with SMU going up against, as we said all week, the best defense that they have faced all season long?
My honest assessment of this game is that SMU was terrified early. Like, they knew the pressure. They felt like they had to win this game or else they were going to, get left out, whatever. They just weren't up for it. And they got into a huge hole. And then I don't know what happened. They kind of realized, oh, wait, we need to actually start playing football. And from that point on, they did look like the better football team than Clemson. I also think Dabo got way too conservative in thinking he could just kind of bleed away this game and win it. But it sucks for them that they lost. It was a really nice comeback. It was too little too late in the end. But they were able to start moving the ball very well on this Clemson team in the fourth quarter for sure. But in the second half, pretty much the entire time. So, yeah, I was impressed, but just a horrible start and a huge hole they had to dig out of.
I mean, they outgained Clemson by 140 yards, 130 yards. Now, part of that is because Clemson had two drives that started, a super, super deep in that SMU territory. So you really can't gain 80 yards on a drive that starts at the 20, obviously, or at least not the plus 20. But yeah, I was pretty impressed by SMU. I see the odds now on FanDuel. For a minute, it was like SMU minus 1,500 to get in the playoff. That obviously didn't last. Now they're minus 390 to get into the playoffs. So a lot of people apparently don't think the committee will be all that impressed by SMU. Maybe Jim Phillips, his speech today, can put them over the top.
Buddy.
God damn, it was that bad, dude. Like, bro, you can't talk on TV anymore. Like that's like have somebody else do it. I know there's capable people who work at the ACC. Like, it doesn't have to be Jim Phillips. Just it could be nobody knows who Jim Phillips. Like, it's not like so many people know Jim Phillips is that they have to have Jim Phillips talking. Have somebody else. There's got to be some assistant commissioner who can put a cogent thought together and not botch every name in the sentence. Like, that was so bad. It was worse than if he had just done what he did last year for Florida State and not show up at all. So, sorry, I was not watching that live, and a couple people like sent it to me. All my texts blew up. It's like, holy cow, this is pretty bad. I think they're in. I do.
SMU?
I think, yeah, I think playing that close, I think we're gonna get in.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. But when it comes to this committee and this system, it's hard to really feel comfortable about it until you actually see it's the case. But I do think that 11-2, 3-point loss to Clemson in the ACC championship game compared to an Alabama team that has nice wins but also has two quote-unquote bad losses by losing to unranked Vandy and then losing to Oklahoma by 21. It's like, that's not on SMU's resume. So they have one fewer loss, and neither of them were bad. So, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of shenanigans Greg's up to this evening, pulling some levers and making stuff happen.
I think they're out.
SMU?
Yeah. I'm not saying that joyfully.
Sure. I get so much joy in it. I could see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
At least I'm not a conspiracy guy for once.
Did you see the shots of them watching the games together?
No.
I saw 0 notepads. I saw 0 laptops. I saw a couple of Perrier bottles. And do you know what? This is unfair that I'm doing this, but I'm really just doing the committee, because do you know what I saw? Vibes. They're just sitting around and they're just kind of talking. And you know what happens in those situations? And this happens. Look, Tom, you can back this up. When you're live blogging a game and you have to like turn something in right away, you start to write what's happening before the game is done. Anybody who's ever written for a newspaper, anybody who has to like turn in any like AP copy or anything like that, you've always been in that position. I would bet that the way they were talking and the way they were thinking about SMU as a team started to be finalized when they were down double digits late into that game. And that is not fair. That is not fair. But I think that SMU, if SMU is left out, I think that SMU will be treated not as the team that lost in heartbreaking fashion to Clemson. I think SMU will be treated as the team that was chasing that game all like the entire night. They were down early by double digits. They were down deep into that game by double digits. I don't think they were that competitive compared to the final score. And I think that based on the vibes of those committee members watching it together, I could see them being like, well, Alabama has 3 wins against teams in our pretty little pageant, and one of them's the SEC champion. I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, they don't have to take notes, Chip, because the computer tells them all the numbers. Oh, it's green. That's good.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man. The prettiest little pony in the pageant. Oh, sad for SMU, the actual ponies. I mean, look, it's so funny. Like a lot of the tailgate, we've got a bunch of people joining us. I really appreciate everybody who's hanging out. That there is going to be a lot of emphatic SMU is in, and that's awesome. I'm so glad that you're invested and you care about this, but it's like not up to you, and it's not up to me. And like, my prediction, and I mean, shoot, like, how are our predictions on the year? You know, like I don't know, like flip a coin. Like we'll see.
It worked with Arizona State in the locks.
Yeah, my thought is that they are my thought is that SMU is going to end up on the outside, and Alabama's going to be in. You know what else I think? Yeah, let's just keep it going with the vibes. I think that Clemson's going to be the 12 seed.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think that Arizona State, again, vibes. It's just like Arizona State will get a bump, but it's not going to be Boise State and Arizona State fighting for the, that spot. I think they are going to get the 3 and the 4. And I think Clemson comes in as the 12.
I mean, Arizona State was ranked ahead of Clemson. They added another ranked win. Clemson had a ranked win. Why would Clemson jump Arizona State? Especially if we're sitting here questioning whether they're going to keep SMU in. I don't think it's an impressive enough win for them to vault Clemson ahead of the Sun Devils. I do think both Boise and Arizona State are going to get a bye after this. Sorry, 5 seed. You get Clemson. It's the easiest seed in the bracket, boys.
I mean, are you really that bummed about playing Clemson this year?
No.
I'd rather be playing Boise State, yes.
Probably agree, yeah. I mean, there's some chance James could go off and you're like crazy, but yeah.
What do you think is going to happen, Bud? What's your burning question for the committee right now beyond an SMU or not? Like Miami's out, right?
Is Boise 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami's out, South Carolina's out. Like those teams, I think, have been out. Boise's 3, right?
Yes.
Or do we think Arizona State's win is enough to put them over Boise?
I don't think it is. But again, I can't rule out what anything that these people are going to do because we don't know. But based on what they've done all year, I just don't know how you suddenly leap Arizona State 6 spots to where they'd be ahead of Boise.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with the Clemson 12 stuff. However, if you go Clemson 12, are you putting Bama in over Clemson? Like
yes.
They're 11?
Yes.
Okay. which
Yeah,
is consistent logically with the current rankings, right?
correct.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's Alabama 11, Clemson 12. So then you get Notre Dame, Clemson, and Texas, Bama. An SEC matchup that we actually did not see.